Hey everybody, we are
What's up,
live with the
everybody?
35th Multifaction storyline discussion. Welcome.
How's it
Somebody's
going,
here, right?
everybody?
I know Jupiter's here. Yeah, there
Hey,
he
everyone.
is. What's up, man?
Let's get this open here.
So, I'm going to turn up my volume so that I can actually hear you guys talk now. Okay. So, it's been kind of a busy week, so to speak, in a manner of speaking for PQ's story. We haven't actually gotten any of the traditional story or anything like we would have expected to during a season, but we got a couple of these. We got what, two of these anomaly
Yeah,
yeah,
two new story beats to go over.
beats or yeah. So the first edition of that, they had a vote that was like what was the first vote? Who do you want to go with? Do you want to go with the captain or do you want to go with Hung? And how Hung is Hung? Um, but
You could even go alone, I think, right?
yeah, or you could go alone. And so the community chose to go with captain. And then the next thing is like, whose side are you on, kid, or whatever, right? But we'll, I guess, since that happened after our last discussion. Oh, dang, man. But since that came out after our last discussion, I think we'll want to break that down as well. This episode, so let's just toddle on over to that. So that is Anomaly 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me also take a look, see who we've got in here. Audience is a little thin at the moment, so let's just give them a minute to filter in. Um, you know,
Yeah, we usually go banter about, talk about some things.
unless of course
Um,
we've discovered the hard way that everyone would prefer to do our other time slot, and so so we have four people tonight. Um, but
oh, and
and that's just how it is. We'll see. We'll see.
Could be. Some people, it's usually very late for some people, right?
Yeah. Um,
right, yeah.
because I mean, for the Americas, it's evening, and then for everywhere else, it's in the middle of the night. So, the only
Yeah.
place it's convenient for is like Hawaii. You know, um, what are you gonna do?
I mean, in any case, like these four people, right? Sparrow. Yeah, that's A-list. Instead of
That's the
last week, it
man
was a cape.
himself.
This
He's
week it's
back this week.
this week it's A-list. Um,
He's no
you
longer a
know,
Yeah, it's
cake.
not
we
a
still have.
picture. It's not a picture of a cake.
Yeah, we have trivia for the people who are here. We still do the whole shebang. We can still do our event. They'll they'll learn, and then we'll probably very slowly but steadily get a bunch of push once the story, the second season of the story comes out anyway, for both episodes. I'm not too worried about that.
Hey man, what's up? AJZ5. Wait, am I stupid? Who is that?
Um, I don't know. I can't remember right now.
Dude, do we know you? Or am I just
I'm
spacing out? I feel like I've seen the name before.
I'm sure we do.
I I feel like I'm insulting somebody, but um, we'll figure it out eventually.
Right. I mean, it's only going to be so long, right? Because we still move people back over into the storyline chat, so we'll be able to see who certain people are, like as they answer questions, right? Even if their Twitch usernames are different. I feel like it's just something that's gonna go down.
Yeah. Pixels here. Um, Saturday Games. Wait, is that a clue? Or is that just a straight up name? Hmm. Anyway, um,
I
so
have no idea.
yeah, so okay, we've got 5 people here. That's something. Um,
What's up, Pixel?
you guys matter. You guys count. We can start the show. Um, all
Let's
right.
go over to.
So, do we want to start out reading through Anomaly 2?
Let me go over to the story. Yeah, I think that's where we need to leave off. I mean, it would be cool to just kind of like read through all of it since we never started this whole little thing the right way. I feel like
Right. All
I
right.
kind
Yeah,
of wanted
that
to.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay. Full. Oh no. I'm gonna have to pronounce names. Okay. So let's. Okay. So we'll start with Anomaly 1. And do we want to take turns on these or?
sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll do. I can start us off with anomaly one.
All
You
right.
want,
All
you want
right.
me to take it away? All right.
In honor of Atlas's Choose Your Own Adventure, take it away, Hopeful.
So, Anomaly 1. Screams tore through the comms. Flashes of light, blinding even behind my closed eyes. Quick visions of hopes and dreams that would all be dashed to bits. This was my end. I was certain. Screeching sound, Screeching sounded as metal tore. An explosion rocked the ship. Then impact threw me into darkness. I don't know how long I was out. When I came to, somehow I'd survived. Our ship, the Kagatsuchi, was partially on her side. A hunk of structural steel pierced through the floor in front of me. 1 foot closer, it would have taken my life. The unpleasant smell of smoke and metal threatened to flood my mind with panic, but I gritted my teeth, shook it off. Still alive. Come on, Jared, move. My hands fought the belt release, and I slid out of the chair, bracing as I hit the side of the ship with a thud. Still groggy, slow, no time for pain. The grinding of metal pierced my ears, and a flash of sparks as it hardened the doors to my office that were supposed to be impregnable were pried open. With the clang, the doors flew open and the ship shuddered. A silhouette of a woman appeared. In stepped a slim but not too tall Captain Cat, a former Federation military woman who often wore a smile that could thaw the ice caps off a planet. At that moment, though, her jaw was set hard and firm. Jared, she coughed through the smoke that billowed in from the corridor. You're tougher than you look. Where the hell are we? I put a hand to my head, trying to stop everything from spinning. Hell if I know. You're gonna be all right. I got you. If you say so. My head feels like it's been slammed repeatedly with a sledgehammer. My money's on it spontaneously combusting any second now. I'll take that bet. Ain't nothing the Crimson Wolves can't handle. 1 minute we'd been with a fleet of other space pirates fighting to get to Mimir. The next, here. People had talked about wormholes and all of that moment. And at that moment, the only explanation that made sense. If we had actually gone through a wormhole, I was going to lose my shit. She guided me out into the hallway, where a few battered crew members were helping each other off the ship. Mostly men, women I didn't interact with, bloody rags on heads, few arms around shoulders for support. We all made it outside, where Kat had us gather in a half circle to take stock of the situation. After she had done a head check, she turned to the hard as nails killer named Hung, glaring at the hitman as if he wasn't the scariest person on board. Hung did his killing up close and hated tech. The moment he was cleaning one of his knives. Hung, give me a sit rep, commanded Cat. Most are here. Hung didn't even look up, his voice devoid of emotion. Others might be in the direction of those flames, or the smoke that way. I sat up, eyeing the two directions he referenced. One way I heard high-pitched howls, and the other guttural clicking. Alien wildlife, most likely. What else? A glance back at the horror of twisted, reinforced metal of the ship's gouged out internals reminded me we were in hell. Missing most of our crew, Kat noted. Our best bet of getting out of here is Salazar. But he's worthless outside of engineering. Best bet of surviving until then, Bryn. Gotta have a dock after all. Our first steps would be to get out of there and find our missing crew, with special attention toward bringing Salazar and Bryn back alive. Without either of them, we'd be in trouble. Those who were able to walk only included Captain Cat, Hung, and myself. The idea was to split up and cover more ground. As they started off, I had to choose go with Hung, the badass who could handle himself if we ran into trouble, or Cat, the leader who I trusted to make smart decisions. Then again, maybe the smart choice was to head off on my own, covering more ground in case any of the crew had been thrown aside during the crash. Captain Cat looked over her shoulder at me. Jared, who you going with? Come to find out, we do end up going with Captain. Me and you, Captain, I said, as Cat prepped the others in case we didn't make it back. She told me once about how to survive crashes. You had to be calm and decisive, and she had both of those qualities in spades. She motioned for me to follow and started off toward the flames. If anyone's still alive in there, we need to be quick and avoid the heat best we can. Let's move.
So,
Right.
who did you guys go with? Who did you personally vote for?
I went by myself.
I chose to go with the captain because I
The
figured that.
hardcore that you are.
Of course he did. I chose to go with the captain because I figured that if anybody was going to be more valuable in terms of like getting off the ground and off of this planet, like in a sort of an end game scenario, it's going to be the captain, right? You know.
I don't know. I think I'm in retrospect. I regret choosing the captain.
I feel similarly, but we didn't
Fuck
know at the
me.
time, and so at the
Yeah.
time, I feel like it was a safe enough bet. But they hit us with some stuff that we didn't see coming. So moving
Yeah.
on to
Maybe
anomaly number 2. Alice, do you want
maybe
me to
the
take this
psycho
one?
was. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Maybe the psycho was better. All right.
Well,
Let's see if
only
I can
time will tell how
actually
hung he was. So
subread. Oh shit! How do I close this motherfucker? Okay. It's gonna be a little rough for me to do this, but I can certainly do it. Okay. Anomaly 2.
okay. So anomaly number
How,
2.
who's taking it, Kruniak
All
or
right.
Alis?
I followed. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh shit, here goes.
I followed Captain Cat toward the flames not so far off, confident I'd made the right choice. Always best to go with the leader, especially someone you can trust. She glanced my way and confirmed my thoughts by saying, "He's a brute, you know. Hung is likely to throw you to the wolves and to throw you to the wolves as I imagine that should be as he slits your throat, but
As likely to do one as the other, I think is
As
as
how
slit
that's
likely
your
to
throat,
throw
phrased.
you
yeah,
to
yeah.
those as slit your throat. Got
Right.
it. All right. But you keep him around. He's a hell of a weapon. For the 10th time since we departed, she tried the comms to connect with anyone other than Hung, and those we'd left back at the crashed ship. When no reply came, she used the holo display on her forearm to scan for signs of life. Something is interfering with the readings. I can't make sense of it. Keep your eyes open. She wasted neither steps nor time, sticking to the widest paths through the fire and scattered hunks of wreckage. Such a damn waste, she said in her matter-of-fact tone. Many of the crew wanted to tell Montez to shove his plans up his high, noble asshole. But here I am, picking my way through the gutted remains of my own ship, searching for survivors. She looked back and considered me for a moment. You and I need to stick together. Captain, I know how committed you are to the Crimson Wolves. We all do. She continued. When a wolf is raised by the pack, he's hard-pressed to bite the alpha. A wild, high-pitched whine lengthened into a broken chain of half-second-long screams somewhere off in the distance. Not far enough for my liking. The forest floor was vibrant. Oh, so we're in the forest. The forest floor was vibrant with purples and blues, but darkened by streaks of blood that told us more than one person had been dragged away, bleeding out as they went. She glanced down, regarding the red lines and pools where something might have fed. Her eyes scanned our surroundings. Where are the bodies? Activating comms, she added. Hung, come in. Give me a sit-rep. Corpses, he replied, voice crackling. None intact. No sign of Bryn or Salazar. We have blood, and a lot of it, but no bodies. Hung was silent for a moment. With all these strange animal sounds I'm hearing, gotta say, you'd better be armed. Cat exhaled slowly. I'm covered. Anything else? Came upon a large ravine not too deep and wide to cross. Something's moving in the tree line. Not human. Not sure if he sees me. Think I'll head in your direction. Find me a survivor. This time, look harder. With that, she disconnected. She checked her sidearm and pulled it from the standard flat grey Federation holster before reaching for the smaller one strapped around her ankle. A small kinetic-based silver pistol, full retro with the barrels vertically parallel to each other. I checked myself and clenched my jaw, annoyed that I hadn't come armed. The booming howl came from Kagutsushi's direction, adding to my frustration and making me feel very naked. The captain's pace had noticeably quickened. She stopped at a small clearing and held up a fist. More forest stood ahead of us, trees broken and smoldering. It looked like we would soon reach the tail of the debris trail from the crash. The tail end of the debris trail from the crash. Before we go any further, let me be straight with you, Kat said. Captaining pirates requires a lot of trust, and a lot of trust in lies. I don't care what lies are told amongst the crew as long as they keep everything running smoothly. But there's no lying to me. I completely agree. She stepped close enough that I could feel the heat coming off her body. You don't understand. I need to know you, the true you. She held the silver pistol out to me, but then hesitated. Even if we find Bryn and Salazar, there can't be any friction between us if we're going to have the best chance at surviving. Captain, not everyone on the crew supported turning against Montez. But you, did you support the mutiny?
My God.
And then we have a choice.
Yeah.
We
Turns
need a
out-
new leadership. We need a new leadership. It's all above my pay grade. Montez is my pirate lord.
Oh gosh, whoever did that said Leroy.
24% said Montez is my pirate lord.
What is wrong with
My
you people?
Oh my god.
So I said it's all above my pay grade
That's
because
off.
I wasn't willing to commit to anything, but I'm so
That's off to
shocked that
those
we didn't
people.
end up with Montez as my pirate lord.
50%.
Who doesn't love
50,
Montez?
50%. I mean, I'm glad I'm not seeing any chats, that I'm not seeing my fellow Imperials just,
I'm pretty sure
Well,
it's
these
just
not
because
people,
the
they're not,
Imperial chat is
they're
dead.
not,
their
they're not
villains.
Imperials. You know, they're not Imperials, right? These are the Crimson Wolves, right? So it's like, do you really want the
No,
Imperials
no, no.
supporting them?
I mean, no. What I'm saying is the people that actually voted, the citizens of Planet Quest, that
Right,
only
right, right.
25% of which like
Angstrom
Montez. I get
Crane
it,
is my
you know?
pirate lord.
I
Angus.
unfortunately, I, I unfortunately missed this vote, so I wasn't a part of it. I
I
didn't
missed
know
this
what the
one too.
choices were,
Yeah,
but
Damn,
yeah,
guys.
I missed this one too.
I probably would have told her to shove it and been like, "Yo, Montez is my pirate lord. I went off by myself anyway.
For sure,
Like,
for
you
sure.
know."
Hey, well, we
Yeah,
kept ourselves alive, you know?
I would have done this too, but people chose new leadership. I didn't need to think about it before replying. As far as I could tell, he wasn't a wolf anymore. He's just an old dog who needed to be put out of his misery. What the fuck is this character?
So I have some
Oh my
opinions about all
god.
of this.
This is absurd.
One, it implies, and before we move on to the last section, this all implies that, they were talking about how they were trying to escape to Mimir, and this was during Ivana's fight with the Crimson Wolves, right? And
Wait, you
So
think so?
this,
supposedly,
it, they
they
said that this is when this took place. That this
like,
was
did they?
Wait,
way back during the chapter "The Crimson Wolves" of season one.
what?
Where did
I
they
was
add this
thinking,
intro? Where did
yeah,
they add
I
that
was I
intro?
was thinking that this was when they actually took over Mimir.
No, no, apparently not. So this was it's in the announcement for the first one in the announcements channel where they say some stuff that happened during Ivana's encounter with Montez's command ship.
Are you kidding? Oh, this
No, and
changes.
so and so unless that itself was a mistake, what that implies is that Montez's location being known to the Empire in the first place was the mutiny. He was abandoned to them. And that's how it happened. Which is really something. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it really tells us much of
What
anything we
the
didn't already
fuck?
know. But like
No, this is crazy. You
yeah.
say there was a mutiny back then,
Yeah.
and you're telling me that they already knew all about wormholes leading to different
That's what I'm saying. They were trying to
sections of
get back to
space.
Mimir because they must have already been there.
They
So
knew
you missed
Mimir, but
this.
how?
You missed
No,
this
but
part, Alis. Let me catch you up real quick
this
because you were a cake.
this
You were a cake
this
last
makes
week for
no
this.
fucking sense.
So Kruniak's theory suggests that the Crimson Wolves were in fact the first people to discover Mimir, and potentially even the Cradle, as difficult as that is to understand, because um, they're number one, they were the ones warping around first, and during this time of warping, this is when Montez was like all caught up, right, for the Julius Lycanus thing. Um, so that's two. So there were ships like kind of being thrown off from the main force that supposedly were now heading to Mimir for reasons unknown, that they never made it to Mimir. So when the mutiny happened, I guess, was after he was captured and whether or not they should still go to Mimir. Um, but then they got
Oh,
caught up in a wormhole and now they're here.
you think it was after he was captured?
That's what I think. That's the only thing that would make sense why they would want to do a mutiny.
So interesting thing about that. There's a bunch of stuff that I noticed while I was looking for trivia questions. In season one that seems like we might have missed or it might be worth revisiting. And I don't want to I don't want to bring it up before trivia because then it'll sort of give away some of the trivia. But I want to maybe sprinkle in some of the trivia earlier than we would otherwise, just so that we can talk about some of these points. Not
Right.
just yet, though. Let's get on to anomaly number 3, and then we can have a slightly more complete image of what's going on here. If that's
Right. Then we
I
can
have
start
so many
analyzing.
questions
yeah,
now.
I bet, man. And I'm about to
Yeah.
make a whole bunch more of them. All right. So,
Jay, you don't real quick before you start anomaly 3, Jay, you don't have to do your answers here for trivia. We do still handle that in the Discord, so we'll let you know on the Twitch stream when we start
but
transitioning to the trivia games.
he is asking if he can send his answers in Twitch chat because he's timed out in Discord because the bot was having some issues and was timing
Can
out mods and stuff earlier.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
can we not remove that from him
I'm
though
uh
as mods?
probably
I know
would
it's
I
the
think you
would
auto
you
can.
mod
mind
doing that, but
seeing if you can
I think you
untime him out?
can.
let
You
me
should be able to. At least
one sec.
we have that ability. Yeah.
I know we can time people out, but I don't know if it's admin only to untime people out.
It wasn't before.
Okay.
I just added
Can
him, and I don't think he's timed out anymore. Jay, if you can hear me, go ahead and try to say something in storyline chat. I just added you. And when I click on your account via the ad, I don't see that you're timed out anywhere.
Oh no, it doesn't say it's not that the thing thinks that you're a bot, it's just that it thinks you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. It was timing out people randomly if they posted GIFs, I think. So if you ever tried to post a GIF, it might have like hit you with the ban hammer. Um,
Well, the timeout hammer.
well, yeah, right. A little bit overzealous though. I think it got like Kratos or like the other day.
It got a couple mods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was somewhat amusing. Feels bad though. But anyway, um,
you guys
everything,
can't
I think
hear
they
me
fixed it. I
eating,
think they
right?
fixed it.
huh?
Not
You can
really.
you can't
No.
hear me crunching stuff, right?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Um,
Good to know.
it really, I do have to say something though because I'm gonna smirk every time. Every time you pick up that bottle and take a swig, it because it's so like by perspective, it's so close to the camera. It looks like you've got this enormous wine bottle. You're just like, no. It's great. Ah,
As
I
he
love it.
takes a swig. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
All right. So let's go into anomaly 3. Let's take it away.
Twitch stream is
Getting drunker
timing
by
out
the
now.
minute.
Connection issues. Very low dropped frames tonight, so it should be an issue on your end if anything. I hope. Anyway, um, not to wish bad internet on you, but for the stream health's sake.
Oh, sh-
Okay. Anyway, anomaly number 3. Captain Cat eyed me, waiting for a response. Where did I stand on the topic of Captain Montez? I didn't need to think about it before replying. Far as I could tell, he wasn't a wolf anymore. He's just an old dog who needed to be put out of his misery. She considered me for a moment with one eyebrow raised, then handed me the pistol. Her fingers touched mine in the process, lingering there before pulling the gun back. Glad you and I are on the same side, she said. But this is just for show. Wouldn't hand you a live gun before hearing you out. She slipped it back into its ankle holster and pulled out a modern pistol from a holster at her back. Here, be ready or you'll end up just another streak of red on the grass. I took the gun firmly in my hand. Accounting for bounty was your old life. Out here, every wolf needs to bear their fangs for themselves and the pack. Copy that. You do know how to handle it, I hope. I was born into the pirates, not the opera, I chuckled. I knew how to shoot a gun before I could count bullets. Didn't think ship ledgerists had the slightest clue about... A scream cut her off. Hung? I asked. Another scream sounded, followed by erratic gunfire. Not likely. She gave me a weighing glance. Go ahead and take point. I gladly accepted her trust and led the way. Not 3 steps later, and an explosion went off nearby, setting shrapnel and flames my way. My left arm stung, and I looked down to see a chunk of metal in my tricep, flames on my leg. A quick drop and roll sent pain shooting through my arm, but put out the flames. The metal would have to wait. You good? Kat asked, brushing away debris from her suit. I'll manage. Kat helped me up, and we continued to find heavy weaponry scattered about. Our first mate lay pinned between a burning tree and twisted metal from the ship, wild-eyed and caked in blood. Captain, is that you? Kensuke, Kat exclaimed. You didn't see it, hear it. Oh, fuck, you're gonna bring them back. They're gonna come back because of you. What's coming back? Corpses everywhere. A body was pulled by something. A huge shadow. On all fours. Then more. They came through the flames, devouring everyone. Help me get this damned tree off him, Kat commanded. I leaned into the smoldering wood, winced at the metal still in my arm. The tree budged slightly, causing Kensuke to growl in pain. Multiple shrieks came from behind us, none of them human. In a sing-song voice, Kensuke belted out, "They're coming!" While clawing at the ground. Leave him! Kat was already moving away. The crash, the creatures, the explosion. He's fucking lost it. I shifted, instead trying to grab him and pull him free. I shouted, I could get him out if he'd just calm the hell down. He'd get us killed. She glared at me, eyes cold as ice. Time to prove yourself. Put one in his head, end his suffering. Was this a test? If I was telling the truth about being on her side, pulling the trigger would convince her of that. However, under Montez, we had lived by a code. Fighting as a team that meant never... that meant never turning on one of our own. If we could find Bryn and heal this man, didn't I owe that to him? To myself? A glance at Kat's furious, challenging eyes told me I needed to make my move. And fast. The man had at least stopped screaming, glaring at us as we determined his fate, but the sounds from nearby monsters set my head pounding. It didn't help that he suddenly leaned forward, lowering his voice and looking sane as he said, She's the fucking traitor here, boy. Kill her. You and I, we're the survivors. Damn it. I needed to act, and fast. Give my all to save the guy? Shoot her instead? Put him out of his misery. Well, fuck.
Have you voted yet? Have you?
I
guys voted
did.
yet?
I did.
Because
I knew that you guys would probably convince me to shoot her if I didn't.
So you didn't shoot her?
I
huh?
didn't. I
see.
Now, I mean, you could probably guess what I chose just by the type of person I am, but...
You're gonna try to save the guy.
Of
You're
course.
trying to save the
Of
guy.
course I would.
Right?
You know. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Can we guess what Hopeful did? Can we?
I'm going to assume that... tough one. Hardcore gamer you would probably put him out of his misery or shoot her, though.
Probably. You probably took him out and then you decide.
I straight up shot her instead. What's wrong with you guys?
Okay.
Oh,
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. There is something to be said.
You don't tell me what to do when shit's going crazy.
Oh my
I have my
goodness.
fucking wits about me. Listen, 3's better than 2, lady. He can. If I get him out of here and he slows us down, he's getting eaten regardless. Don't worry about it.
So here's the thing about, here's my read on this. It's like there is something to be said for consistency of choice, right? We've already chosen once to go with cat, and then we've chosen a second time to go with cat, and now for the third choice, it would be a little
Just shoot her.
crazy to just
Have you
shoot
learned
her, you
nothing?
know.
Have you
But
learned nothing from Aelis's adventures? Like,
but
if the user has
that's what
done
I'm
anything
saying.
right,
if
yeah,
if
like
they're
if they did
taking
anything right,
inspiration from this man's bullshit, it might be a good idea to just pivot hard.
Oh my
So, because
goodness,
like
so
it's like
funny.
you know the thing is that the 25 or 24% of us that were like Montez is my pirate lord uwu, we're, we're probably, not that I voted that, but like I do feel that way. um we're
Thanks
probably
for the
in the
pistol.
situation where we would have to shoot her in order to like go in that direction in any way, right? um
That's funny.
but like I think the middle of the road option of just try to save the guy unfortunately is going to result in her choosing to shoot him for us, and then we're going to be in a standoff with her and we're going to have to shoot her later. So like making like a complete decision might be the right way to go, but I'm generally indecisive about murdering people. So you know yeah, that's my take on all that.
I think it's gonna be all right, whichever.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is that until proven otherwise, I don't think any of these avenues result in death for us. I think that would be bad marketing. So, because the whole
Right.
thing with this, and I don't know, Alice, if you're aware of this, if you're in and around at the server often enough to pick up on this, but John posted a
Not aware.
portrait of Jared, and it's very bare at the moment. He's just a guy in a suit.
Oh
And he said,
shit!
as
Yeah.
this progresses and as he gets, like this week he's gotten a gun. So they'll be updating his portrait and giving him the stuff that he
Ooh.
collects, giving him the scars that he earns, all of these things. And, like, probably scorching his suit, giving him, like, a piece of shrapnel in his arm and all of that stuff as we go forward. So we'll be
Where
having.
is that?
That is in the storyline chat. It's going to be. You're going to want to scroll up a little bit.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be horrible for me to go through now, so I'm
I
gonna do it
will
later.
grab a link to the message and I will send it to your, or I'll
I
send it to
will
our group chat
appreciate that.
so that you can
Yeah,
look at it.
appreciate that very much.
Here we go.
Oh, that is cool. So we have like a character leveling up and getting stuff based on our choices. I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, so no wrong choices here for sure. Oh, my phone is so slow now. Fuck.
Yeah, so it's there's some interesting stuff. John's post with Jared. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I will do that if that has not already been pinned. Let me just do that. There we go. Yeah, so my impression of Jared, and not to make anyone feel bad, for one, his name is Jared, which is basically another word for jarhead. No offense to anyone whose name is Jared, but like it actually sounds
Jar.
like jarhead. Um, and so he's just sort of whoops, terribly sorry. Let me just
no, all good, all good.
my Discord just restarted.
It
Again, I think I can't touch Twitch because I just touched the app
Maybe
and I killed
don't do
you.
that then.
he
Why do I
touched
have
the
that
app and I
power?
killed you.
Jesus.
Okay.
The other week it was hopeful, and now it's you. That's weird. It
Okay. There we
and
go. Sorry about that.
my my
Alis has
camera is so
killed
laggy.
us again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So yeah, my read, I don't know if that just like killed the feed completely. It probably did. So I was in the middle of saying something. Um, but I was just saying like my read on Jared as character is that he is very much this sort of like blank slate character that gives us the oh, what's happening? Justin Sloan is typing in the storyline chat, guys.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Stop the show. Okay, what's going on? Maybe he's here. Maybe he's watching the
Uh,
show. You never know.
All right. I
it is
hope so.
possible.
Is he?
Is he the one?
Without giving anything away, I'd say the key to these stories is what you consider the win to be. Each path can lead to another type of win. Right. So that very much is a good point. Like where with Aelis's it was a contest where people would get eliminated. So if you make the wrong decision, you die, right? And there's only one path, or like maybe one or two paths to a victory of sorts. Where this is a choose your own adventure where all of them are viable options and not necessarily dead ends, and they all lead to creating a different portrait for a different canon reality for Jared, and leaving us with a different set of circumstances that may pick up later on in season two, right? Very much in the same way that, like, no matter how badly we screwed things up with season one's votes, like, the Panoplia, for example, we ended up with something for it, you know, which is a lovely way, and thank you very much.
Canopy is fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
No one cared about that shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the
I
remark.
seem to
Fine.
remember, and it's a shame that we
Cared
couldn't see
about
your
him.
face at the time, Alice, but I seem to remember a reaction, something like, "What the fuck did we just do?" Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about. No regrets.
No,
none at all. We stabilized the wormhole, guys. It's fine.
Exactly. It
I
had to be done.
So here's the thing. I'm very curious what would have happened in the event of a bunch of different votes going differently, right? We already know what might have happened for two of them because of privileged information. But there are many other ones of these votes that I'm terribly curious what would have been the fallout. And so
Cool.
maybe sometime in the future, I know it had been discussed during some of the story corners. Maybe sometime in the future, we would get the opportunity to maybe ask about some of those and get a few small hints or maybe some definitive answers now that season one is basically closed. You know, at least some vague answers. Probably any answers that would have introduced characters that are going to come up later in another way might be asking a lot, but.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I want.
that would have been interesting. I think if we had said something else, she would have given us the unloaded pistol, and we would have gotten ourselves in trouble later.
I want to know. I want to know if you would have killed Anna Pliskova had we chosen to give her up and not investigate into the assassination, because that was my vote. Just
Probably
give
would
her
have.
away.
Probably would have. Hey Alex.
Hey, Alexei.
So, I think the one that I wanted to know about was the expanding anomaly, like the expanding wormhole. When we were like, stop and like turn around the ships and try to
Right.
strong arm the anomaly into stopping expanding. we did that and it worked. We lost like one ship, but it stopped the expansion. And I was really curious what would happen if we just ran away and let it keep going. I wanted to see like system wide destruction and like,
What?
you know,
Oh my god.
like an interstellar post apocalypse. I was ready for that. I wrote a very short fan story for the weekly story contest, specifically about that. Um, and it was just a guy like sitting on his porch on a tropical planet by the ocean, just watching as the light approached, and it just like his vision just went white and everything just got wiped away. Like it was something, man. Um,
Robert, is that you? Are you? Did you change? Did you go grow younger? Are we seeing Jupiter
oh,
talking now? Is
listen
that it?
here. I'm just
What is
curious if that
happening?
would have happened, right? Because I was very interested to see what would have happened if the story had gone in that direction of like trying to recover civilization. Like I don't know if they would ever have been, willing to go that far, but that would have been an interesting turn. You have to admit.
Well, they would have killed some people for sure.
Fair.
Maybe more than just Elijah Burke.
Well, we don't know if the wormhole, for example, right? Half of Morn missing, and what's the other one? Uh, Eden Neputus. We don't know if they're like destroyed, right?
Oh,
They
another one
might
that
just
I'd be
like
really curious
missing.
about is what happens if we
Yeah.
tell Tonacom to stuff it, and we let the Ojin Kai just keep their generator on Morn.
Oh yeah,
That could
that's a
have been a
good.
very interesting turn of events.
That is
The
a good.
whole story could have looked different from that.
Right.
My understanding is that Rowan had like a general outline of where he wanted to arrive at, but didn't have like everything written and sorted out, so he was sort of making it up as he went along in a sense, for some of the specifics. And so like you know we could have ended up with a totally different story, if
Yeah.
we had decided to have certain things happen in other places, because I mean they would have steered us in a certain direction
Well, ultimately,
eventually.
we would have still ended up at the same end result of like finally getting to explore the
Right, we would have ended up
new
with the
galaxies and
anomalies and the new
things. Yeah,
galaxies and all of that eventually, but like a lot of the other
but the
political
Union would
stuff
have
would be very
imploded.
different
The
right now.
Bastion would have been taken for like a joyride by Killian.
Oh my god.
Bad things would have happened.
What would have happened if we didn't send Sana to die, right? By making Bryn
So what I
fight
wanted to
and
know was
die.
what happens if
Killian
we
would have
send the
crashed.
Valkyries? What happens if we sent the
No, no, no.
Valkyries to
Listen,
deal
listen.
with Vargas instead of the Bastion, right? Because
Well, the
Right.
Bastion didn't
then it would
go.
have
The
been
Bastion didn't go. It was just Mercer and all of his crew and
well,
like
because of the
his like
prophecy that was
explosives.
like whoever we send is the one to die, right? So
Yeah,
then it would have been Bryn who was destined to die.
Bryn would have dead. Yeah, would have been dead
Brynwood dead.
for sure.
Brynwood dead.
You heard it here, guys. Uh,
Yeah, he would have been dead.
and then
I'm
wait, but
sure
then
of
does
that.
that mean that the medical officer in the anomaly thing would have been named Mercer, but spelled differently? Sorry, guys. Sorry, couldn't help it.
Uh,
Uh, but
All right.
yeah, Mercer with an S. So yeah,
Mercer with an S.
so what else do we want to talk about? Do we want to go into any more speculation about where this is headed, or do we want to maybe sneak in a little trivia so that I can talk about some of the stuff from season one that I've been thinking about?
I
Yeah,
mean, that's it,
we can do that.
yeah, it's
I
up to
mean, I
you,
have
dude.
so
It
many
sounds
questions regarding this whole Crimson Wolves thing, but we're
Right.
not
So
gonna we're gonna stay here
so
all night.
I have two trivia questions that are related to that. Um, so let me grab those, And
While you're doing that, I'm gonna drop the participation
you
in
can
the.
behold how frighteningly bright this Word document makes my face. Um, okay,
I
so
dropped the
left to
attendance in the
learn.
Twitch. Everybody, go ahead and fill out that form so that we can get you down for the participation points.
All right.
It should be live and able to be filled out.
So if everybody could head on in over to the storyline chat in the Discord, I want to drop a couple of trivia questions just sort of earlier, and then we'll get on to discussing some of the stuff that they're about later. Um, but the first question is going to be, what was a clue from season 1 that the Crimson Wolves mutinied? And I'm going to give this a minute for Twitch to kind of catch up with everybody, and then I'll post it in the chat and everybody can answer. Okay, you can answer. And it's a really bare clue. Like it's a clue that kind of only makes sense in retrospect. So like, you know, yeah. It's more like justification or evidence that it makes sense.
There was a
I think I can.
clue?
I think I can answer this
Kinda.
What?
one. I think I can answer this one. I might as well try. Let's see.
What?
Yeah. Do. Let's go. Mm. Where?
Hmm. I mean, the fact that they teleported away, is that the clue? They just ran away?
No.
Where's the storyline chat? Here we go. My
Before that.
answer. My answer is gonna come in the form of quotations. Are you ready, Kruniak?
Let me just head in and see. All right, all right. I'm ready for your. Ooh, that's a really good one. I would accept that. So I didn't have only one answer. I'm willing to take different interpretations of the answer for this question. Um
Oh,
I'll take a second or a third place so that
I
someone can still take the limelight.
Yeah,
when you
no.
said
But no copying his answer for that because that's very creative. I'm only going to give one prize for that specific interpretation. Good try, Papa
Papa
when you
Bear.
Bear.
Because
when
otherwise it
you
just turns
said
into a race.
when you said season 1,
Mm.
I didn't think of any of the rest of the interactions with Crimson Wolves in the epilogue or anything. I thought you meant in that vote, in that Ivana Crane's
I,
whole
as
thing.
a matter of fact, do.
Oh, so there's a clue
Oh.
there.
There
Okay.
is a very, very small clue that kind of indicates that something might
Fuck.
have been up.
All right.
And I'm really curious if anyone can get this.
Yeah, instead of going the long route, I went for the throat, and I was like, "Hey, this is something." So
Yeah.
if that gets me even 15 points, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean because you're right. You're entirely correct because like Lorcan, seems to have stopped giving him shit after that fiasco on Amir. Yeah, sounds about right. Um,
It sounds like there may have been some dissent among the ranks, but a mutiny, I'm not so sure because I don't think
but some dissent
know, a
would be
captain.
evidence to
I'm gonna
support
try
a
one.
mutiny. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
I'm gonna
that's what I put down.
try. So I'm gonna try the theory that the reason the reason that the captain's ship, where Montez was identified by Ivana, that she knew where it was because someone told her, someone that mutinied and then wanted him to be caught.
So I would
They
accept
gave it
that
away.
as well, but there is another piece of evidence to support this as
It's
well.
not this.
That's not the
God
one that
damn it.
I identified, but I would give that one
I
as
want-
well.
I
So I'm
want
gonna go
yours.
hopeful A-list, and then we've got a third place available for somebody. I mean, I'd
I
give
want-
I'd give somebody first place if they could come up with the one that I had.
Yeah, I wanna. God damn it! So it's not that.
It's
All right. She wants to go on her own. She wants to lead the thing. They had some guerrilla tactics, and I can't remember any details. Of
hopeful.
that
Can you
outside of
fill
that.
out
The form?
the form for these while I'm running it?
Yeah, let me go to the thingy. You sent me this
Clean
here.
off
Bing, bang,
images of the
boom.
data we received
Got
from
it.
Amir. No.
And then let's go back to Discord.
No.
And scrolling down. Bang, bang, bing, bong, bing, bong,
All right. I think I will tell you guys though, since we need to discuss this a little bit. So I'm gonna close this question. We've got a first and second with hopeful and A-list here, which looks away, but whatever, it
All
happens.
right. I'll take it.
So the answer I was looking for is there weren't very many fighter ships accompanying the command ship. There weren't very many fighters. There were like a dozen or so, apparently. And
Okay.
and as a result, they were able to take the command ship with no casualties. Seems a little sus, doesn't it? like, and so like it doesn't
All right.
mean anything the first time you read it, but in this new context, it feels like, oh, all of his men abandoned him. like, so
I think I interpreted that as, to not call too much attention to his ship, or his tactics were to sort of spread out in a way that, you couldn't ever get them all at once because they were never together
right, and
too
it
much.
would have
I
easily
never
read that
too
way
much
at the
into it.
time.
Yeah.
And so like it's only in retrospect that we could ever understand that to mean anything other than they're sneaky pirates,
All right.
and-
Interesting.
And so that was my interpretation of that. Is like that's the closest thing to a clue or indication that I could find in that episode. But just the general fact that they knew where he was in the first place, yeah, that's also a thing.
Well, I mean, that could be or couldn't be. I mean, this is all speculation too.
All right, so that's one of them down, and then okay.
Okay, so we got those.
So this one is a multi-part answer, and it's not like too much of a multi-part answer, so don't worry about it. But the next question is: 3 people visited Julius Lycanus surrounding his death. Who were they?
Oh man. Damn, what are their names?
It was
You
You may
Moira
answer.
Crane. It was
Don't
You
tell
guys
everybody
What's
yet.
wrong with you, bro? You better type it, bro.
You
What's
just gotta
wrong
type
with you?
that shit.
I can't type. It's horrible to type like this.
Oh,
Oh.
rough.
Well,
All right.
I
At least
gave you
give
guys
him
one.
a chance.
I gave you guys one.
He's not dead. Wait, Julius Lycanus is totally dead. What are you talking about, Pixel Geek?
He's super dead. Yeah.
He's very dead.
I like Jupiter's answer.
Hermit.
It was, and
I'm gonna say 4 people visited him, right?
Well, no.
Not just 3.
Should be just the 3.
okay.
Just the 3?
All right, I did it.
Should be, and we'll talk about this. So
Did I misspell this lady's name? It's not Moira, is it?
It's Moira, yeah.
It's Moira, is it? Okay, okay. Oh. Who the hell's Marcia?
his wife.
It's his wife. I mean, she saw him when he was
Okay,
dead.
okay, okay. We've
right?
got enough answers to work with. So just a bit of to clear this up. Marcia visited his chamber after he was dead. She was the one who
Yeah.
opened the door so that everyone could get
Yeah.
in. And I did say
Yeah.
surrounding his death, and that isn't really what I meant. I didn't mean after he died. I meant before he died. Like the people who
All
are
right.
in the running for suspicion. Okay, and they were in fact Anna, Moira, and Montez himself, obviously.
Well,
And
was it
Montez himself,
though?
maybe.
Was it Montez though? I mean, Kudo seems
The
to have
Montez
reached the
doppelganger
conclusion
himself.
that it's some sort of clone thing going on, right?
Maybe. It's a Montez doppelganger, or he can be in
It's
two
not,
places at once, or
but
something.
it's
But it's
not just
it's
Montez,
genetically identical to him.
right? But it's not just Montez, because he gets even more suspicious with the Emperor whole thing. So it's
Hmm.
either within the Empire or the whole of the the the
The whole
the,
IP
the
is slightly rotten with
conspiracy.
this clone shit.
Right. It
uh,
seems weird, even within the Federation. It had there was something weird there. I caught up a bit with the epilogues. I hadn't read them until today, and I mean the Emperor. Maybe that's the explanation. The Emperor lives forever because he's always cloning himself. That makes sense. So it's always the Emperor, and at that time, there was no time, sufficient time for that clone to have picked up his Austria back. That
yeah.
makes sense. Why it doesn't have an Austria?
It reminds me a little bit of the and this would make a lot of sense because I believe that Rowan's background is in dungeon mastering. So this sounds a lot like the clone. Isn't the spell called clone? It's like a
Yeah,
high
there is a
level
spell.
spell
Yeah,
called clone where you
yeah,
put a clone in a jar and if you die
yeah,
it wakes up with everything you knew at the time when you cast the spell. So
yeah.
it doesn't have the context or the experience or whatever of when you last died, but like with the technology and resources of the emperor, he could theoretically like you know implant himself with give himself like a technological implant that would feed information to a clone that's just like baking in ooze somewhere, and then if he
But would
dies it could wake up and just
would
continue where he left
that
off.
would that even be necessary? Because if you wake up, if your clone wakes up, you know that you died, right?
Right.
So
And so
possibly
obviously something
something
isn't
went
right.
wrong.
Yeah.
And then you see someone giving a speech on your balcony. What the fuck is
Saying
up
that they
with
killed
that?
You
you.
know what happened? You know what happened? So this is what
Confused,
happened, right?
confused
got
Solus
stabbed.
Crane is like, excuse me, what the fuck?
No, no, no,
Like,
no. No, he got stabbed, right? And then like his vitals went kaputski, he flatlined. And then like a computer downstairs kind of went flip and was just like dee 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 or like Operation Phoenix go activated
Operation
itself.
Phoenix. You know, we should have known
Yo, and
by the
then and then
insignias.
he like a freaking like vegetable, like a tube comes down and just like drains itself. He flops out and he's just like, all right. time to go to work. Gotta choke a bitch out.
Just like free ball and
puts in the
Solus
computer
Crane
before he
walks
leaves.
out
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
the
And like machines
balcony.
like dress him as he leaves. Like he just dresses him as he leaves this chamber. And like before he leaves, he just kind of like types in another like Project Phoenix. Like, all right, let's load another one up.
Did you miss me? Like honestly though,
Dude,
I love
jeez.
visually speaking, and I mean this in like the most artistic way possible. There would be something really incredible about the display of power that would come from
Yeah.
like buck ass naked Solus Crane walking
He
out
just walks. Oh
onto
no.
the balcony and just
Oh,
like
it's too much flex.
murdering
Too much
Gloria
flex.
and being like,
No,
"Come at me,
you can't choke
bro."
a bitch out in like stem cell fluid still. Like no,
Yeah,
no, dude,
this
this
I
is too
mean,
this would
powerful.
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
This would have been
it would be a
this
pretty
if
incredible
this
display of
ever
power.
happened, it would have had it would you need
Too
this
much.
to happen in the last season at the end. You can't soil the Emperor's
No,
reputation right at
it
the
happened in the
beginning. You
beginning though.
can't.
It happened at the beginning.
Yeah,
It
you
did.
can't do it
Shiko
at
did
the
it.
beginning. You
But there
did.
is something symbolic, and because it's still a mystery, they obviously couldn't have done that, right? Because it would have given it
Yeah.
away if he would just come out like totally naked or some shit.
Yeah.
But there would be
Yeah,
a
exactly.
degree of storytelling in the power of like rebirth and just like the sheer the parallel with like Christian creation myths and things like that of like the naked man and all of that. It would have actually been very very strong visual storytelling to do something that way. This is a text-based storytelling. I know
Right.
we're
I
just
don't like
we're
it.
talking about a
I don't.
naked old man right
Yeah.
now, and it's not
Yeah.
super great, but like but
I
like it
don't
would be
like it
so
for the
cool.
Emperor. Not for the Emperor. The Emperor is dignified.
Is he
It's a
though?
figure. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He
And you
just
love
seems
him.
very
The-
grumpy.
Don't give me that. You love him.
I do, I
We know
do.
it. We know it.
Who
We're
doesn't,
moving
dude?
on.
He's such a compelling
Third question.
character.
Let's go. Third question before we get
Oh,
wrapped up
third
in
question.
soulless juice.
That was it. Okay, so that was the second question that I wanted to ask, and the reason I wanted to ask that one was so specifically so that we could get into a bit of a discussion about the fact that why is it that we don't talk about how Julius Lycanus was stabbed in the back, but died from poison, and was alive, and it in no way was it indicated that it was a paralytic poison, and he was alive for 10 whole minutes
Right.
and never called for help. Why might that be? Because that gets addressed in that episode, and then it's just like,
let me
but
put it
that
to you this
shit
way, let me put it to you this
aside,
way.
like,
Let me put it to you this way. So as his father, you have no idea that your son is like a clone. Like you have no idea that there's two of him now, and perhaps
Right.
due to the insights we've
but
been
you're
given
never
about
so
his
baffled
upbringing.
by your son being there when he's supposed to be in
Well,
jail
it
to
depends
the
on what
point
he's
where you
telling
don't
you.
call for help to save your own life unless you believe you deserve to die.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
I think that's possible, and we thought about that. That
Unless this
he
was an
accepted
et tu
it.
Brutus moment where he's like, my own son. I guess
Yeah,
I
we-
really
we-
deserve to die. Like,
Yeah, we all had that impression, but I think now, in retrospect, knowing that he probably knew it was impossible that his son was there, so something must have been up. I think he could have been just curious enough to hear from him how the fuck he did it, what was happening within the Empire.
but without
If he didn't know about the cloning, because maybe he didn't, then wouldn't you want to know before calling for help or anything? Wouldn't you stay there to find out? Wouldn't it be too shocking for you to just
Well,
want
yeah,
to
you
hear
assume
it
your
from
son.
him?
You assume your son is like being held in prison, like hundreds of miles beneath
Yeah.
you on the planet, and then there he
And
is,
it's
like putting
impossible
a
to
knife in your
escape.
back.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
it's a prison that is impossible to escape from. So it has to be something you've never considered. that
Yeah.
that you don't even know is possible. So I think that's enough to be too puzzling to just, push the button. And if you've been stabbed, then it's even worse. Because it's your son killing you, and how the fuck is it my son? How is it possible that it's my son?
Right. And also, how did it come to this? And, you know,
Yeah,
and is it
there's a
even,
lot.
yeah,
And we
it's,
know it's an it to Bruto's situation, because all of it was, alluding to that
well, because
play.
it sort of indicates by the people objecting to finding out who it really was House Lycanus itself. So it indicates that they knew, that they all already knew. So maybe he called someone, but it wasn't for help. It was, oh my god, I just saw Montez in here. What the actual fuck is going on here? So maybe all of House Lycanus knew, you
You
know?
think they knew?
Like maybe they all knew, and maybe letting him out and doing all of these things was all part of the coup plan, or who knows, man? Who knows?
I don't think so.
But like,
All right, that would be complicated to consider, but it could be smart. I would have to think about that. How they could have
because
engineered
they didn't want
all of
anyone to
this.
know for certain that it was him, right? Because
I
that
mean,
then
So
I understand the Emperor knowing this. And now all of that mystery where the Emperor wanted to wash his hands off of this and simply, shut this all out, not kill Montez in public, all of that. I understand now why he didn't, because if Montez now, if he has a clone, if it's active at the same time as the real one, you have two Montezes alive. That means if you ever kill one, when the other shows up, you're fucked. You really fucked. And you probably imagine that the clone or the real one don't want to show up at the same time. So that secret is only kept if you don't publicly execute the real one. So now you need to find the clone and kill the clone before you can kill the real one. You need to understand how that got. And at first
and you
I
need
I
to kill
was,
it secretly.
yeah. At first I was thinking, once this whole clone thing got, I read about this, and we discussed this. I was thinking that's why the Emperor banished Montez, because he found out what the Emperor did. Maybe Montez discovered something, right? He needs to have something against
Maybe
the Emperor.
Montez already killed the Emperor once or something and
Ooh, that's
discovered
even
this secret.
better. That is even better.
Like that would be
That
very
would be
interesting.
really cool. Yeah, especially if he really is Ivana's brother. I mean, that would be really cool. Your grandson
Yeah.
kills you, you come back, you banish him. Ivana is none the
And then you
wiser.
kill your grandson
He,
and he's still alive.
yeah, in the meantime, he managed to clone himself. So now there's a double of him. He found a way. He found a way.
Honestly,
I mean, that would be
there
quite
aren't enough Davy
interesting.
504 checkmate memes for this moment. Like it's so good. Oh man.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Very interesting. The whole cloning thing is interesting. It reminds me of Eve Online, where the technology in that game is very smart how they did the whole cloning thing, where if you die, how is it that you come back, right? Your ship exploded, but I mean, you have like a series of clones. Every time you die, that clone gets activated and you leave without the experience that you might have managed to acquire on your travels, because you have to upload everything you learn. You have to come back. So it's an interesting system.
And it's
It's one
plausible.
of the few. Yeah, it's one of the few games where the whole thing about dying hundreds of times, it makes sense within the lore of the game. I love that game for that bit, where it's just, it's a clone and you actually lose something, and it makes sense why you lost that experience, because your clone couldn't have had what you learned. So that was really cool. So this reminds me a bit of that. Really fun. All right, what's your next trivia question?
Oh God, and now we'll move on to more.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
all right. This one's for you Fed nerds out there. Which is all of our trivia nerds, really. Let's be real. All right.
Oh, I'm seeing a rebirth of the Empire here.
Yeah,
I'm seeing Tallboy
there's some
Latte,
Empire activity, which is very nice to
David
see.
J. Ray, Sparrow. I mean, this is great. Three Alexei. That's a lot of
Where are
people. I
my
love that.
onions? Where are they? Anyway,
I mean, Notamali's in there, you know?
not a Molly. Where are you at? Um, all right. So, how is Aurea introduced into the story? Hey, Luffy! Luffy's an onion. Good man. All right, and Papa Yaga, but he's not here right now, is he? I think Papa Yaga actually wanted to move to the other time slot because of
Yeah, Papa Yaga's
sleep
not with
schedule.
us.
So hopefully
Was it?
both of these time slots will survive the the expansion. I noticed that our numbers are a little bit smaller tonight because people had the option um, for tomorrow, but we're really honestly it's not that much smaller. We've got 16 people here. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my guess for this question is Haley tried to punch her face out off. She tried to break her jaw or something. Was it that scuffle that introduced Aurea, or was it earlier? I
It was
can't remember.
not that, and that's a union specific, like a faction specific story, I think. I mean,
Oh, was that
and it wasn't
faction
Aurea, it was
specific?
Moira. Haley tries to punch Moira,
No,
I
it was
believe.
Adnis.
It
It
was
was the
Aurea?
president. Yeah, it was Adnis for
Oh,
sure.
okay. Interesting.
Moira had, I think, as far as I remember, Moira had no interactions with anyone that ever did anything. We had the Julius thing where her name is mentioned, but we know nothing about her for a long time until we hear she's Ivana's mother, and then at the end shows her, holding the Emperor's body. But we literally know almost nothing about Moira. Moira is really
Yeah,
a
fair
mystery
enough.
for us.
So yeah, the
So if
introduction
it
of
wasn't
Arya
that
is
one,
fascinating. Oh, why are you spelling her name wrong on purpose? Hey, man, like,
yeah, good one.
um, I have
That's
my
a good
ways.
tactic.
You'll notice that I put her first name in. You are right though. It is with an E. Let me fix that.
That is a good question. How was she introduced? Hmm.
If I could give you bonus points for correcting my spelling, Papa Bear, I would. But I think that I might get more hate mail for trying to give out weird points for that. Um,
See what people want to say. I'm not sure. I'm actually unsure of when Oreo comes into the picture.
you know,
She's a
she's the
princess.
princess. It's surprisingly early. That's my clue. It is surprisingly early.
All right.
And
So
and
if it's
I
not,
only do trivia questions about core storyline unless otherwise stated. So
oh,
it's not
all right.
faction specific.
So if it's not in one of the early conferences, then I mean it would have to be, right? I really don't remember if there was. Yeah, but you're saying no faction specific things.
And I'm not talking about just her name showing up. I'm talking about like her at least having some implication of contribution to the story.
Right.
Oh God! Apparently, someone clipped me scratching my chin. Um, because I guess this is very loud in my microphone. Um, and I got a DM with a clip that says beard ASMR.
Beard hands. Uh,
Damn. I'll give you a clue. Um, I've mentioned her by first name very intentionally.
Right.
maybe search Adonis.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that and made it so difficult. But
No, this is good.
man, can't wait for
These
the
questions are evolving.
I can't wait
in a
for Alis to
very
catch up
interesting.
and give us more questions about like the Latin roots of plants
Oh,
and fucking
hell.
constellation history, so that we can truly suffer again. I've been missing this. I need this in my life.
I
No,
have
it's
one question that I prepared for today, but it's an easy
Ooh.
one.
oh,
It's a
okay.
very easy one.
All right.
We got anyone getting it right?
Nope,
No,
not
nothing.
yet.
I mean, I would call it at this point, dude. Like, this is. I still got 5 questions, buddy.
Jeez, man. All right. I'll call
Oh.
this one. We got nobody so far.
All right. We
What is this?
failed you. Are you keeping
is-
it for yourself, or are you giving us the answer?
I'm gonna keep that one for next week. I've got another
Alright.
good one. All right. Next question. The memorial for the Forge Worlds included respects for more than just the Empire's citizens lost there. Who else was mourned? You may answer.
I mean, the people of Morn, right?
No.
No.
No. Actually not. Which is a little
Oh.
bit irritating.
Yeah. So was it the mercenaries that died in that thing? The Twin Sons mercenaries that we just butchered to
No, actually.
split.
It wasn't the Twin Sons mercenaries either.
We
No one
did-
cares
we're-
about the Union, man. Unfortunately.
We don't have to mourn Sarah Vars, Pixel Geek.
Yeah,
Why?
she wasn't
No.
dead. She's still not dead. I hope. Oh yeah, if Justin's still listening, can you like not kill Sarah Vars in season 2, please? Just personal
It's-
request.
You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna create a little traitor, a little beautiful bastard traitor that is going to being brought up by us in that story. You know, a Crimson Wolves axe pirate, and this guy is gonna kill Seraphons. We're gonna make him kill
I'm telling
beautiful
you,
Seraphons.
I'm telling you guys, it's gonna happen. Like, I know I've calmed down a little bit, but the madness is still firm. Sarah Vars will die.
So no, just so you know,
Oh
the,
my
the
goodness.
service for Sana is like on the other end of the story of season 1, guys. Like,
Yeah,
this is the Station
early.
Edison service for the Forge Worlds. From like the thing that they're mourning happened in like episode 2.
Bro, like we keep looking at questions from very close storyline because I just saw that.
I mean, I was thinking about what was going on in the time when this anomaly episode is happening, and so that's where I have a lot of my questions from.
It is
Yeah.
weird though, because I remember them saying after the Morn episode that they would do the memorial for them too, that they would include them too. And now you're saying that doesn't happen, so they include someone else.
So it was not
Fuck
was
me.
not the citizens of Morn who were killed. Okay, there we go. We've got 3. It was, in fact, the Federation's soldiers who were killed. They
Oh,
didn't
I
give a
see.
fuck about the people of Morn.
I see.
They only mourned the Forge World colonists and the Federation soldiers who died in combat.
I see. Right.
Yeah. Elijah
I
Burke,
was on the right
humanitarian that he
place.
was, read a little thing, like a little eulogy for the dead soldiers.
Hmm.
At the
So I was right that it was Morn.
You
I was
were.
just
I didn't say who else was mourned there for nothing.
right. Yeah.
um,
Who
I
are the
picked
people
up
who?
that clue.
all right, hopefully you got those. You got those winners.
No, who are? Put checkies on them.
Alrighty. As you
Who
might
got it? Who
imagine,
is-
we've got Bobby, and we've got JH and Solats. All right.
Yeah.
So this one is done. All right, guys, we're gonna take one more run at this fucking question. I've had this for like 4 weeks in a row. What event guaranteed victory against the Crimson Wolves at Mimir if they weren't to use the Cradle against us? You may answer. All right, Moonover. Cheers, man. You ready? All right, all right.
Oh my god.
I'd be very happy if somebody would get this question off of my document. But Alis, do you
Let's
have any
see.
guesses?
Oh, I remember this question. So I think I need you to rephrase the question for me.
So
I'm having a hard time.
during the like upcoming battle where it was like the Crimson Wolves were like, we're gonna wormhole your ass,
Right.
and we were like, I don't know, do we think that they're actually going to do that? Like, are they
Right.
bluffing? And so we're like, well, we think that they're
Fuck
bluffing,
it.
so we're gonna fight them.
Yeah.
And something happened that made us sure of victory should they not use the cradle. And this
Okay.
question's been up for like 4 weeks, and we've been trying to figure out what it is.
Okay. Something happened in the interim. I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. I don't remember anything that specific.
God, dude.
My god.
I have to give this a commendation. Um, if you feed the wolves and give them pats calling them a good boy until they are domesticated, at which point you can inbreed them for generations until their noses are pressed so far into their skulls that they can no longer breathe, they will subsequently suffocate and die. Oh my god. Pugs, so unhealthy. It's a rough.
Something happened. All right.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
no,
close this one and say maybe a minute or so, maybe 30 seconds, because otherwise we're gonna run out of time and Hopeful's gonna kill me.
I can't believe we don't have it yet. That's crazy.
Did someone get the answer here? She stated as a council member for Federation. No, nobody got
Oh,
the
that's
answer
something
for
else,
that
yeah.
last question. That'll be up next week. That's the one about Aurea Adonis, not I'm that I'm talking about, Bobby. All right. Are we done? Are we done then? We think we've closed this one?
Yeah. We're
All right.
done.
I just want to let everyone know, Boppy did eventually finally get it. The answer is, in fact, the arrival of the Obelisk, the S-class frigate.
All right.
Nice.
Congratulations, you got it. It guaranteed victory should they not use the wormhole, which they, in fact, did.
Oh my god.
Let me. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I couldn't tell you that you'd gotten it because then everyone would have copied it. Like, you know. So we only have a first place for that question.
I think someone else also said that, didn't they?
No, somebody
Someone,
said
I think.
something about a C-class vessel.
Oh,
It's a C-class
Oh
Empire-made
yeah.
ship of Ceravars showed up, but that
you're right.
did not happen before the fight.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right. Fine. My goodness. Finally, that's awesome.
Yes, I phrased that as carefully as I could to make sure that you couldn't search it. But you got it.
Okay. So let me get lined up here. Actually, Alis, you wanna ask your one question? Get that
Yeah,
one out
sure.
there?
Easy one for everyone. You guys can also participate. Let's see how connected you are. So, my question is, I hope the inferiors get this one. Question is, I'm
Well,
not
that's
gonna
not
write this
biased at
down,
all.
so
That's not biased at all.
it's quite biased. It's very biased. I hope you can you guys write it down, so because I'm not gonna write. My phone is horrible and it
Oh
would be
yeah,
bad
yeah,
to
I'll
type it
type it in
here.
for you.
So just type it
Okay.
out. Question is, what is the best way to rise up socially in the empire, within the empire? What is the best
Oh,
way, easiest way to gain ranks and rise up
All right,
socially in the
it's in
empire?
there.
Easy one.
what do you want, dude? You think I don't know the answer to this? Like, OnlyFans. Damn, someone beat me.
I mean, like,
Alex,
you're
damn.
kind of.
OnlyFans. Combat the army.
I'm gonna give
Oh,
you
a lot of good,
guys
a lot
another.
of good answers here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys another 30
Only
seconds.
Solus.
Only so.
It's just Only Cranes. Welcome to my Only Cranes page. Oh man. Is there a chance that that domain is open? We can just like grab Only Cranes and then just put pictures of birds on it,
Only
and
cranes.
then just one picture of like a hulking like ripped dude covered in like ooze, just like
No,
strangling someone.
stop. Just stop.
Oh man.
Too much. It's too much literal drip for so much rain. Stop.
All right. I'm gonna call this one. I'm gonna call
Too
it,
much
and I'm
drip, more
gonna
like too much
say
droop.
I'm very happy to announce that I believe only a single person got the right answer, and it was an
Ooh.
Imperial, which
Oh,
makes me
damn.
very happy. Very, very happy.
The
So
answer was
let's go.
no.
The army, combat, born into it through nobility, marrying the granddaughter of the emperor. That's probably that one. By loyalty and
It's
nobility,
not that one. No.
do everything for the
Let's
emperor.
see.
Those are the only.
So it's interesting
Those are the
because
only
social
imperial
mobility
answers
does
you
kind of
got.
exist in a very strained way as far as I'm aware. Because G used to be like used to be a stumpy
A
or whatever,
nobody.
right?
Yeah, yeah, they were a nobody. Yeah.
So it
She was from the Forge Worlds. No one said she was a nobody.
so but
That's yeah. That's
so
a
it does beg the
nobody.
question how
They
one
literally say their people are nobodies
how
out there.
one like gets attention to the point where they're capable of moving up, right?
So the answer is, before you guys continue, just so I tell the person that they won. It was Kaysen answering
Kaysen?
through the army.
Oh
This
wow.
was actually shared recently through Instagram. They put a small thing, and they said the easiest way to rise within the empire is through the army, which we didn't know until now. So
They
it was
shared that
a
on Instagram.
question. Yep,
When? Like
there was
yesterday?
some law there. Maybe today. I don't know. I
For
just saw it today, and I was like, "Oh, interesting. I didn't know this, so maybe I'll ask this to
fucking
see
Instagram,
how
On
man.
many people
Instagram
are
right now, yeah.
connected."
I'm going
Yeah,
to
how many people
Instagram.
are connected
All
to
right.
the Instagram? How many people are seeing it? Because that was something that was shared there, and we didn't know. So that was an interesting one. And we got to thank you, Kazan. You made me proud. You made all Imperials proud because you got the
What?
answer.
How
Yeah,
do I
look at she
even?
called. Yeah, Instagram
Fucking
law
PQ
drops,
fact, the
keeping you
Imperial
on your
military.
toes.
Did you know that the Imperial military, the linchpin
Where's
that holds the Empire together, is the best chance for people to move up in society? Ranks can be
See,
earned and come with
really good.
privileges, but advancement does not come easy. Only the most
I hate
exceptional are
Instagram. How do I
successful.
use this
Fire
crap?
emoji.
Planet Quest.
Guess we have to check Instagram now.
So if
What the
anyone
hell?
else answered it correctly, then please, Hopeful and Krunia, can you please check? Because I mean, on my phone here, it's just horrible. I probably
Linchpin that
missed
holds the Empire together,
if
my
you
foot.
said
Only thing that
something.
holds the Empire together.
All right, I see Papa Bear.
Let's.
Another Imperial. That's so good.
Where, Papa? What are we looking for? What are we?
Oh man.
Someone
I mean,
else answered it
I
correctly?
almost
Sheercold
would
is
have given
throwing
it.
shade.
Okay, so we got Kaisen, we got Papa Bear. Get Papa Bear on here. Okay, there's Papa Bear. He got second. Who got third? Anybody?
Yeah, was there anyone else that said army before I said questions the question
No.
is over, right?
No, so we just got a first
All
and
right.
second on that.
Excellent. Only Imperials. You made me proud. I'm very happy.
Free school with the army.
All right. So yeah, combat. I wanted to give it to you. I was hoping you would change it from combat to army, but because army is not just combat, but it was close. It was very close. All right.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm gonna
Go
have
ahead.
to learn how Instagram works later, I guess.
Yeah, because
Oh, I
I
can't
suppose
get
we
in.
don't have a choice now.
All right, so let's go.
I'm
Kruniak, you want to take over the doc now?
yeah, I'm just fascinated by how well, if I lean back in my chair, my head sits and my neck sits perfectly in this little like overlay thing, so it makes me look like I have this huge shoulder plate.
Yeah. So you're like chilling there. I see you.
It makes me
You're
look
like this.
ripped as hell, man. Anyway, let me let me bring up this shit.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Oh man.
I just saw that on the Twitch stream. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I've got the
You got the doc?
the doc.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. So here goes hopeful trivia. Let's minimize this for now. Put that in there. Okay. So question number 1. Who argued that the council had no right to decide on matters of a cultural combat practice? So who argued that the council had no right to decide on matters of a cultural combat practice? You may answer.
Are
The
you looking for
Brutarians.
a specific individual? Is it a specific individual in the story?
Yes, someone argues this.
There's like a few people
this
that
point.
it could have been, and I can't remember which one it is.
All right, we got our answer. Freeman did it. I'm so glad to give this to Freeman. It was Mercer.
Oh, I thought
It
you were
was
gonna say
Gillian.
libertarians. Yo, what about
No,
me?
he-
Wait a second. What about me?
Oh, yo, yeah, I missed.
I
it,
gave you
Pablo,
his
I'm
full
sorry.
name.
Yo, you did. I missed that. Oh my
Uh,
god, I gotta get
hey
Tallboy back to
man,
that.
hey
That's so
man.
bad.
I
Look at
almost
Shickles.
certainly fucked up the spelling on
Maze
that. Sorry.
Rackham, please give Jupiter some points for that Maze Rackham. Like, yes, yes, Ender's Game, yes,
Hey man.
Maze Rackham,
At least I know
for
how to
sure.
pronounce it, okay? Um let me see.
Killian? He
Yeah.
had that shade from Stuart Gold. Nah, he's Killian Mercer now.
Shickles is outraged.
Canon change.
Canon
Canon
Hey
change.
man, at
change.
least
Oh
it's not
my
Sarah
god.
Vance, okay? uh I'm sorry, that was uncalled for.
The enemy's gate is always down. All right, here goes. Question number 2.
Hold on. Um,
He says touche.
Yeah. Oh my god! If I could give this guy 20 points, I would.
I mean, like, I tried to last week. Didn't you, did you see? I think I tried to give him
That
second
was
place for a trivia question. It
so
didn't work though.
good.
All right, all right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, here goes number 2. So, who was concerned for Sarah Vars when it was reported her pursuers are closing in? You may answer.
I want to say like
Mm, 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 mm.
the entire unit, especially Criniac. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You know, you're right. If I could commend you again, I would.
All right. We got it. We
Definitely
got
not
it. We got
hopeful.
it. Yeah.
Hopeful be like, I want the blood.
I really wanted to give it to David J. Ray, but you know, you gotta get those full names.
Okay,
Right?
I'm
Full names.
officially not answering questions anymore because apparently I'm too good at guessing. And it's gonna look sus as hell. Um, so I'll just shut up now.
Let's see this next one. Let's see what people
So it
think
was
about this
me,
next one.
Boppy, and Papa Bear, or
Yeah, Papa Bear, because David just
okay,
threw out the last name, and I wanted the full name.
okay.
Gotta throw out that full name, David. You gotta come on, bro. You knew what it was. Okay. So let's see, number 3. Let me know when we're ready for question number 3.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. So question number 3. Why did San Ah bring Yen to Rev's diner? Question number 3. Why did San Ah bring Yen to Rev's diner? You may answer.
I know that one.
You can answer because you haven't been like slowly leeching all the points out of the trivia.
I think was two reasons why, right? It was mainly because she didn't want the whole corporate, talk. She wanted to hear others' perspectives.
Something about
And
cats?
then,
I'm kidding. Continue.
yeah,
What about
my
cats? Oh, Kiki's. That one's pretty. Wow.
yeah, she's just, wants to block my light for some reason. Could you please not? Could you please just stay here?
Free
Thank
drinks.
you.
Yeah, but that's why they didn't go where they were going to, is because, or that's not why they didn't go. That's why they wanted to go.
Yeah, she's great, Freeman. She is just great.
Show cat.
Ow.
Yeah, Hillis and Hopeful can pander to the cat crowd, but I don't have a cat, so
Can
I
I
just have dogs that occasionally howl in the background.
can I show the cat? Yeah. Here's my.
Oh,
Oh,
Kiki. Very cute Kikis. Oh,
She's
wow.
actually. Her name is actually Kiki. So
Oh, that's great.
you
Yes.
say that, and that's actually her name.
so
Very
majestic.
cute Kikis. Oh, she's good girls. That's awesome. I love it. I just want you to know, A-list, that all cats are colloquially named Kiki. They're all Kikis.
Really?
So I
That
mean,
is
she's obviously the
quite
alpha Kiki,
interesting.
since
The
that's her
alpha
name, you know.
Kiki.
I had no clue that that was a nickname for cats.
Yeah, Kikis. They're all kick flips,
Yeah,
cats.
someone clip this for sure.
I
Someone
had
clip
no
this.
clue. I thought I didn't know that was
She's really
something.
Yeah,
pretty though. Holy crap.
I wasn't kidding when I
Yeah,
said
she
this is a
is.
very majestic cat. Has a very imperious look, which is only fitting. You have to rename. You have to get a cat and name it Solus Crane now. Sheercold, if you have a cat that isn't rather if you don't have a cat named Solus Crane, I'm just disappointed. Make it so.
This one.
Okay, back to the thing here.
Perspective.
Sheercold will slowly but surely like accumulate a massive horde of cats, all named for the different strong characters in Planet Quest.
So I'm gonna give the answers to. So far, I'm seeing Boppy with for moral support, Papa Bear for give her perspective, and then let me see if anything else is also in line.
There was one that says didn't want the stock reactions they'd get at the Vastic place, which is like
And David J.
that's about
David
the
J.
but that's
Now-
about the
now
the
David
establishment they
came
were
back
going
with
to,
it.
right?
Yeah. So the answer what I'm looking for is it's kind of toward the end of that story prompt where San-A kind of again opens up and has a human moment and kind of lets us know like this is why I brought Yen, for the support, right? Yen puts her hand on San-A's and that's the reason why she brought Yen to Revs with her. It was for that moral support, so that she could have human moments and feel comfortable doing so.
Right.
So that those are the correct answers. So we have Boppy in first, and then we have Papa Bear and David J. Ray.
Oh, that's a good question. How many passport points do I get for getting a crane and naming it Solus Crane? I mean, can we discuss this
lot.
with
lot.
Sia? If somebody
A lot.
well, first of all, I think
A
it's
lot of
illegal to own a
points.
crane, but like
What the hell? It's not illegal to own a tiger. Like you
I
could
mean
probably
it
have a
should
crane.
be. Like but honestly though, if somebody just like photoshops a crane and like puts like enough sun imagery, like raw imagery behind it and calls it Solus Crane, in a meme form, I'm willing to bet that that's going to win Meme Monday for one thing, and probably like Fan Content Friday, and probably a bunch of commendations. Like, I don't know, I'd commend you for several days in a row for that.
Solus crane.
Get to photoshopping, my boy. Get to photoshopping.
Let me see, tall boy. It gives us perspective. Ah, tall boy did get it. It gives us perspective. Yeah.
If
Tall
I had
boy
the
did
power,
grab
though.
it.
MS Paint, here we go. Oh, God.
Open eyes to different perspective. So you're gonna have to backtrack that and then drop Bop second, tall boy first.
You know what? Actually, Jupiter, are you here right now?
Third. Yeah, tall boy did get first on that one. Did you get that edit, Kruniak?
Oh, hold on. I actually need to go and put in names for this question. So we've got.
Yeah, so it was in fact tall boy. He answered first. He did said it gives us perspective, so that is correct. And then Bob came in second for moral support, and then we have Papa Bear gives her perspective, and then again, unfortunately, David. I keep messing up with David J. Ray today.
So it goes Solats, Boppy, Papa Bear.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. So let's we got you covered, man. David, we got to get you a little quicker on the draw there, man. Quick draw, McGraw. Let's
Bryn
go.
is number 1 on the
He
list
says
for
no.
cat names.
Okay. Okay. So question number 4. Let's see if we can help David out here. You got 2 more chances, Bubba. Question number 4. What were the chances of both rain and sun on a certain Federation planet after the Imperial address? You may answer.
I can't. I can't. It's gonna
Sure
look
we can.
weird. It's gonna look
Just
so
say it.
weird. I already have 2 first places, man. Like,
I'm gonna say it's like 7%, something like that. It was low. It was
Shit,
something like
yeah,
that.
maybe it was, but I like
1.21
precise numbers.
gigawatts.
Oh, you like precise numbers? Yeah, I don't.
It- it-
I don't remember precisely. I just know it was around 7. I mean, I knew that fucking ridiculous number of the chance
6.
of the whole
Yeah,
quantum thing. Yeah, but this one, I just knew it was something like 7.
Yeah. Oddly enough, people don't
yeah,
vote
yeah,
for
yeah,
rainy
yeah.
days, which is weird. Like,
I wish I could give bonus points. Does anyone want to throw out the planet name? Anyone want to throw out the planet name?
oh, I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the planet where the hab
It's
is.
Cypriot
Is it?
X something.
That's pretty
Cypriot
tight. Yeah,
13. Cypriot, I don't know. It's something like that. Cypriot X, whatever.
yeah. Okay. So we got. Let's see. We got Tall Boy.
X12. Okay.
X12, I was close
Wow.
too.
And then we got J. So we got Tall Boy or Solats, and then we have Bop in second, and then we got J in third.
Man, Solat's really killing it here. Starting to creep up into the upper echelon of trivia performance. For sure.
That was
No,
a
no, that
question,
was a bonus.
Chico.
It was a bonus question. It was you're good, Chico. I knew you were gonna do that. That's why I saved that like for the second. I knew you were gonna answer it flat out. So I was like, no, that's not the answer.
Just ruining the trivia for people. What are you doing, Shekels?
What are you doing?
I would I'd be curious, like, at some point to take a look at some statistics around the trivia. If you guys want to chat for a few minutes after the show.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So, for anyone who's wondering about stumps, we will be doing those during the morning edition, because they do take quite a bit of time, and we figure the trivia takes like an hour to do, if we're not during a normal story week where we're cranking out like in this case 11 trivia questions, where we would otherwise back in the day have had like 5 or 6. Now if we're doing so many, we're going to move stumps to the morning edition so that we have one kind of trivia game for each set, and that makes it so that we're not sort of like overloading one show. Yeah, and it gives us a nice substantial show for each section. But yeah, if anyone, most of us, Hunter Yin is a stoner, for sure. But like,
Yeah, Shirkle. I figured Shirkle would probably like that take of like the smoking Hunter Yin. Because that was just fire. Like it was good.
yeah, it
That's
was some good
heavy
shit,
metal
man.
smoking. It was good. It was good. I liked it a lot. Okay, so we
Anyway,
got one more question, right? We got 4 minutes, right, to wrap up. So here goes final question from Hopeful. Where did the Vulpus Oculi originate? So that question one more time. Where did the Vulpus Oculi originate? You may answer.
man, I could have that rare planet by now.
Sheesh.
uh, Maybe I should just retire from hostdom. I'd probably get paid better for being a member. Uh, Jeez.
Somewhere near the vulva. I'm gonna die, dude. Oh my god. Let's see.
Yeah, they're the
Hmm.
beta fish of this world. I just love Sheikald's references and names.
Well, cause I mean, you actually sit there and like search things and like look into stuff, like look into
Look
the
things
root
up.
word. Hogwolves.
They don't find the
Yes.
letters. They just copy paste. That's all copy paste, Freeman.
You can type those if you have a Mac. It's much harder to type them with a Windows setup.
You,
You gotta pull it off.
it off.
Control Shift Alt. Fuck.
Yeah, you can just use a like a couple of different key combos to get different versions of letters with a Mac keyboard, but you can't do that with Windows. You have to do like alt codes, and let's be fair, alt codes are stupid. They're just stupid. I don't know why they exist.
I like them. I mean,
Shut up unless your
phase.
opinion is
gonna-
wrong.
I had a phase in my youth where I knew so many of them. I could just, all a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's honestly it's a problem because I made so many of my passwords and usernames and things like that when I had a Mac. Because like typing my name, typing Kruniak with the umlaut U is super easy with a Mac keyboard because you just use Alt U and that's it, right? But on a Windows keyboard, it's an alt code, and I don't type it frequently enough to remember what it is.
Wait, what? The U is you can just I think I know why it's harder for you and not for me. Because if you have English, the keyboard as international, then you get a lot of those words and
You
accents
fucker.
as just if you do the the quotes is wait, what was this called? What is this called? The two
The two
things, the
dots,
two.
or do you mean quotation marks?
Yeah, if you do that and it does the is it called umlaut? The two
That's
dots on top of the
bullshit.
U. Yeah, it's really
That's
easy.
such
It's
bullshit,
really easy.
man.
Yeah.
I'm so
I mean,
upset.
Kraken has
for
entered the
Portuguese,
Twitch.
for Portuguese, you need some accents, right?
Right.
So you either have a specific keyboard that is produced in
Oh
Brazil,
man, Shirko, I appreciate that. I appreciate that joke. That's
graduated
good.
umlaut.
Summa
All
cum
right,
laude.
so real quick before we keep going down the rabbit hole about like
Yeah.
special characters.
Oh yeah,
'cause
did
I'm
anyone
obviously
get your
through the
question right?
pooch. Yeah, like I just kind of threw you guys on the tangent of special characters. Sorry, jeez.
So it's
So
Boppy, Solats, and Papa Bear
Boppy
again.
first, Boppy first, and then we're gonna put Solats in third because he did a double answer. He changed his answer from Eden Nepudus to Ichthys
Oh.
Bravo. So then he's gonna get third. Papa Bear's gonna grab second.
Okay.
With the
I graduate.
Freeman, Jesus Christ.
All right. So that's our
Oh,
trivia for the
boy.
night then.
Yep, that's the trivia completed.
Okay.
We still got you in there, Solats. We still got you. I still wanted to include you, but I saw that slickness you did.
So if you have a PC, Kruniak, just change the language of your keyboard to English International, and then you're fine.
And that
You're
should
gonna
solve
find
my
a
problems.
world. Yeah, you're gonna find a world of accents and different things that you can do. That's really easy then. Really easy. And no codes, no anything like that.
It's almost like they don't think that like English requires any of that. Like it does.
Yeah.
It does. There are like accents on English words. A whole like four of them. Like what is it? Facade. Facade has like a
Oh,
fancy
that.
C.
Yeah.
Fiance, cafe all have accented E's.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones that have
Yeah.
accented E's as well.
How do you do that? If how do you say how do you write cafe? Is that a code for the E? Is that not something you just?
Nah,
That's
you just get
true.
fucked. You don't get the accent.
Shit.
If
Yeah, that's
anything, you
true.
type it out, and
That's
then
true.
like maybe your word processor will offer you like a spell check that'll give you the accent if you're
I see.
lucky. That's about it.
Yeah, never thought of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes the computer will just
Usually,
change
usually the computer will tell you that facade is wrong if you type it with like the fancy C. Um,
the fancy C.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember the name for that right now.
Yeah, I know the name in Portuguese, but not in English.
It's the same for the acai berries, no? Like it has that same
Sheer cold. It's
effect.
funny you should make that joke because from what I've heard of Arthurian legend, that's kind of how it goes. Anyway,
The name in Portuguese is yeah, Sigilia. That's the spelling is wrong, but I guess that sounds pretty good if you're gonna read it like that. The spelling
wink,
is
wink,
not that.
nudge, nudge. Say no more. All right, so we are done with our trivia for the evening. There were just a few things that I wanted us to touch on before everyone goes. And we'll talk about this again tomorrow with the morning edition. Um, and the morning edition is one of the things that we wanted to talk about. Obviously, we're going to be doing this again in like, 13 and a half hours. We're going to be back here again, running, a similar version of this show, talking about a lot of the same things without interrupting it with trivia, hopefully. Yeah,
Well, we'll have
and
stumps at the end.
yeah, we'll,
We'll
we'll
have
have
stumps
stumps
at the end.
instead of trivia, but we'll be able to sort of run through all of this. And since we've talked about it once already, we'll know what we're doing. It might be slightly briefer, but not by much, I imagine, since we'll be interacting hopefully with a whole lot of new faces who haven't been able to make it before. So yeah, and then hopefully some of you will be able to make it as well. Before we go, though, I want to just mention a few of the events that are ongoing and upcoming in the PQ server. So one of them is Jupiter's Cultural Bonanza that he's running. So he's running a season 2 of that. So we're going again. And some of you probably participated in the last round, but I think at the moment we're during week 1. And how that works is you're just making heraldry, really. It's like logos if you're federation, for corporations, and for union it's like, clan symbols and things like that, signets, and anything that you can think of that seems like, visual symbolism for the union and its groups, its families, its clans, coalitions and such. And then, maybe banners and things for the houses of the empire. But really be creative, come up with anything. Honestly, like I don't know if Jupiter would be mad if you made a bar sign like for a place. But if you've got an idea, make something, throw it in there. It's all great. It's not being run by popular votes anymore. There's a panel of judges now, so you can feel free to make something and throw it in there for the contest, and then spread it all over the server to show people your cool work. You don't have to be afraid of getting persecuted for promoting your work or anything, because there's going to be a panel of judges deciding who wins. On that note, Flovster's very successful bestiary and or bestiary and botany contest. Volcanic Week is up next, and he's also switching over to a panel of judges to determine winners now. So people can, show off their cool creations and promote the whole thing without fear of any retribution. And also people can participate without feeling like, they can't possibly win because they don't know anybody to ask to vote for them. Secretly, of course. So yeah, if you want to take a crack at that when it comes up, feel free. Definitely go for that. Couple more things. One was that Sheer Cold, the man himself, who's in here with us at the moment, actually is we're planning to have an interview sometime soon. I hope that we can figure out exactly when, but it's looking like it's going to be maybe Friday after this coming Friday, or I don't think that it's going to work out to do it this weekend, but maybe like next Friday. We'll be able to set that up. So keep an eye on the events banners for that, because we'll definitely be making sure that everyone and their grandmother knows that that's happening when it gets scheduled. And then the other thing was that sometime in the near future, there's going to be a super secret hush hush writing contest going on in the PQ server that the three of us will be judging for you. So if any of you guys remember the Christmas contest in the days of submitting enormous texts for a bunch of us to review and all of that, it's going to be a little like that. I'm not going to say too much more because I don't want to give it all away because it's still in the works, but it's looking like we're going to have something like that coming up soon. So stay tuned for that, and just keep an eye on the event banners, and yeah, we'll hopefully say more about it next week. All right, and I think, is there anything else we wanted to say, or?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think you've covered
Anything?
pretty much everything. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we have the stage up and set. It seems to be operating, at full capacity, right? And as we see more things happening in the PQ server, we'll likely see this space heating up, and um, it's always appreciated to see you guys showing up and supporting us. So just to mention that, thank you for that. And if you can't make tomorrow, we were glad to have you today. But that's pretty much it from Hopeful.
Oh, Robert's saying he has a new event that's happening next week called Constellations
I did want to
for
mention that, but
Pioneers.
yeah, I did want to mention that, but since it's not it hasn't been ratified just yet. We're talking about it
Right.
on the back end. Jupe did just kind of push that out, but it is something to look forward to, everyone. That we are going to have some rather cool things you can potentially do with your planets. Being a pioneer. So as that event kind of formulates and becomes more ratified, we'll definitely let you know. Probably, if anything, tomorrow, if we get talking about it tonight.
Alrighty then. So shall I send us off?
Yeah, I think we're ready to bid everyone a great evening.
All right, everyone. Good night. Sleep well. Hopefully, we'll see a few of you tomorrow, so you can do it all over again with us. But all right, everyone.
All right.
Cheers.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.